Hi guys! Over the past decade, I have used a straightforward yet efficient method to hand over my visual expectations to developers. This also serves as a reference for writing acceptance criteria. My simple method involves using a PowerPoint file. This gives you the flexibility to utilize various shapes as interface elements. Additionally, each slide can represent a separate section of a page. For every feature, I create a separate PowerPoint file to draft the visual design. To show you an example, I will use a project I worked on as a product owner, a peer learning platform. This platform enabled users to find like-minded people globally, form learning groups, and study together. For instance, if you were preparing for the PSM1 Professional Scrum Master exam, you could find others worldwide with the same goal. This collaboration makes the preparation more effective as members support and help each other. Consider that a learner can either create groups for others to join or join groups created by other learners. Therefore, the Learner panel requires a feature to manage learning groups, which includes displaying all groups the learner is a member of, creating a new learning group, editing an existing group, deleting an existing group, inviting people to a group, entering a group to collaborate, exiting a group, accepting join requests, and so on. Now let's see the thinking process that we need to create a visual design. When designing a feature, start by considering the 4 core functionalities known as CRUD: create, read, update, and delete. This means you need to plan for read, how to display a list of the entity, for example, learning groups, create, how to form a new record of that entity, update, how to edit a specific record, and delete, how to remove an existing record. Let's review these functionalities one by one. Read, showing a list of the entity. For this functionality, you need to visualize how a list of records, a list of learning groups here, should be shown on the page. Do you need pagination? Which data field should be shown on each record, etc. Create, a form to create a new record of the entity. For this functionality, you need to add a button on the list page to redirect the user to a form where they can input the data and create a new record of the entity. Here, a new learning group. Update, a form to edit a specific record of the entity. This functionality is similar to the create functionality, but you need to add a button on each record on the list page to redirect the user to a form where they can edit the current data of the selected record. Here, a specific learning group. Delete, removing an existing record of the entity. As this functionality is on the record level, you need to add a button to each record on the list page. By clicking this button, a confirmation message is shown to check if the user is sure to delete the record. Here, a specific learning group. Next, consider context-specific functionalities. For my project, this included inviting people to a learning group or sending join requests. Determine if these actions occur at the list level or the record level. You see, just a simple, structured approach helps you visualize the idea effectively. Finally, place all elements within a container, like the Learner panel with a user profile on the top right and navigation menu on the left side. More than that, you can add extra information on the design, like some comments that give developers a complimentary explanation. Another valuable practice is to document all necessary database fields for an entity. I add a slide with a table listing each field, a sample value, and remarks. For example, default values. This powerfully communicates your data intentions to developers. After preparing the PowerPoint, you have two options to finalize the design. First, polish your PowerPoint slides into a mockup. While PowerPoint isn't a dedicated design tool and lacks the flexibility of tools like Figma, it is still effective. Using it can prevent most misalignments between the product owner and developers. And second, hand the file to a product designer to convert it into a high-fidelity interactive prototype using a dedicated tool. In our project, we used this option. Our designer used Figma to build a high-fidelity prototype based on the PowerPoint input. You can see the final design for the peer learning group management feature in Figma. Okay guys, this is the final high fidelity design of the learning groups management feature on Figma. If we go to the learner panel side here, we have converted the PowerPoint output into Figma design, and we used to create 4 variations for each feature to cover the responsiveness across all devices. For example, this is for desktop large. If I zoom in, you can see that these are the records of the learning groups. We have the left hand side toolbar, and under that we have our forms. For example, this is for creating new group, this form is for editing a group. Then below that we have messages. For example, when you want to delete a group, you will receive this message to confirm yes, you are sure to delete it, exit the group. And then below that we have the next variation of the design, which is for desktop small, as you can see here. And then we have tablet design. This is the final look and feel that the end user will see on tablets. And finally we have the design for phone devices. Yeah, it was the process that we used to generate a high fidelity design from our PowerPoint design. Hopefully you enjoyed it.